Some of the biggest deals in the NBA draft are the players least expected to break out, whether it's a mid first round pick that turns out to be the best in their respective class, or a late first, a random international player, or even times a second round pick. Those players have overcome many obstacles, leading to inspiring stories. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. Here are the best non-lottery players from every NBA draft class. 2000, Michael Redd, picked 43rd by the Milwaukee Bucks, the most talented player for his class. Given how weak it is, one of 3 All-Stars, started to break out his 4th season, becoming an All-Star. Averaged 21.7 points, led his Bucks to the postseason multiple times as the first option, a 6-year prime of 23.5 points, a nice stroke, but injuries cut his career short, a torn ACL and MCL in 2009, retore that same knee a year later, retired after the 2012 season at 32 with the Phoenix Suns, a forgotten good player who brought great memories for Bucks fans. The 2001 draft, Tony Parker, picked 28th overall, even though Gilbert Arenas was more talented in his prime, would have been the better player if healthy. Parker played 18 seasons, a long productive career, picked by the genius Spurs, worked out for San Antonio. Pop didn't like him at first, but invited him to a second workout, decided the 6'2" point guard from France was worth the gamble. His name was barely mentioned in the pre-draft predictions. The 19-year-old became a 6-time All-Star, 4-time champion, a Finals MVP, a future Hall of Famer. It's an absolute head-scratcher. He retired with the Charlotte Hornets out of all teams. The 2002 draft, a weak class, Carlos Boozer, one of 4 total All-Stars. The other 3 were picked in the top 10. C-Boost, 35th overall by the Cavs out of Duke. The 2-time All-Star had a terrific post game and a mid-range jumper, put up around 21 and 11 in his prime. Terrific for the late 2000s Jazz teams, retired from the NBA at 33. The 2003 draft, a loaded historic class, 9 total All-Stars, the 5th best player David West out of Xavier, the 18th pick by New Orleans, a productive 15-year career, very physical with a good post game, became a 2-time All-Star, 8 seasons in New Orleans, a 21-9 guy in his prime, very solid for Indiana, took multiple pay cuts at the end of his career, couldn't win a ring with San Antonio, but finally got 2. The 2004 draft, a numerous of players could have been on this list, between Al Jefferson, the 15th pick, Josh Smith, 17th, Jameer Nelson, 20th, Tony Allen, 25th, and Kevin Martin, 26th. After a tough decision, I'm going with Big Al. Despite never making an All-Star team, he did make an All-NBA team in 2014. A traditional big, Jefferson put up over 20 and 10 for 3 seasons, 22 and 11 on Charlotte as the best player on his team. At least he led them to the playoffs. The 2005 draft, Lou Williams, the 45th pick, over other steals in 17th pick Danny Granger, 30th pick David Lee, and 40th pick Monta Ellis. Since 2 are retired and Ellis likely will never play in the NBA again, Granger and Ellis average over 25 in their primes, but Williams' longevity will go down greater. A very valuable asset in today's game, gets better with age, can produce for any team off the bench, a bucket getter, looked like he wasn't gonna last after his first 2 seasons in Philly. Will likely even be more remembered than Deron Williams, the 2nd pick in the class behind CP3. The 2006 draft class, Kyle Lowry, the 24th pick, over 21st pick Rajon Rondo, and 47th pick Paul Millsap. From 06 to 2015, everybody would have had Rondo over Lowry, but flash forward to 2020, it appears Lowry will be the one more remembered and will go down greater amongst the all-time point guard rankings. 6 straight All-Star games and counting, 18.5 points, over 7 dimes the last 6 seasons. While Rondo has been known as a head case after leaving Boston, hasn't been an All-Star since 2013, a show of himself right now, Lowry's been the more successful player. The 2007 class, without question, Marc Gasol, the 48th pick, one of the best European players all time. He looked fat and out of shape as a teenager, but helped change the Grizzlies franchise. A great IQ, does all the little things, 3-time All-Star, former Defensive Player of the Year, a champion, terrific on both ends. His numbers don't show how valuable he really is, a future Hall of Famer in my book. The 2008 class, a bunch of worthy players outside the top 14. I'm going with DeAndre Jordan over Serge Ibaka, Nicolas Batum, Goran Dragic, and Roy Hibbert. DJ made 3 All-NBA teams, 2 rebounding titles, great athleticism, extremely vital during his Clipper days. The 2009 class, a loaded one. The answer is Jrue Holiday, the 17th pick, All-Star in 2013 with Philly, 2-time All-Defensive team, terrific on both ends of the floor, solid all around, been averaging between 19 to 21 points each of the last 3 seasons. The 2010 class, Hassan Whiteside over Eric Bledsoe, the 33rd pick out of Marshall, started his career with the Kings, got cut, went overseas for a few seasons, Miami stole him, became one of the best centers in the league, earned himself a $100 million contract, won a rebounding and block title, made a defensive team. Now 30 years old, Whiteside has had plenty of good games with the Blazers in 2020, putting up over 16 points, 14 rebounds, and 3 block shots. The 2011 class, the best player in the draft, Kawhi Leonard out of San Diego State, picked 15 overall. Some believe he's the best player in the NBA today. 2 championships and counting, the best two-way player in the league. If the 2020 season was to resume, the Clippers are my pick to win the title. The 2012 class, Draymond Green, the 35th pick, a solid all-around player, crucial to Golden State's success, a 3-time All-Star, 1 Defensive Player of the Year, 5 defensive teams and counting, 30 years old right now. The 2013 class, the soon-to-be 2-time MVP, Giannis Antetokounmpo. The Bucks were extremely fortunate to pick him. The Greek Freak had one of the biggest body transformations from a skinny 6'9" kid, barely 200 pounds as a rookie, to 6'11", 250, an incredible athlete who's unstoppable at times, led his team with the best record for back-to-back seasons, has a chance to go down as one of the all-time greats. The 2014 class, by far Nikola Jokic, who's arguably the best player in the class between him and Joel Embiid, the 41st pick out of Serbia, turned himself into an MVP candidate on a playoff team, a 20-10-7 guy who puts up triple-doubles very often. Joker has a chance to become a future MVP and champion. The 2015 class, so far, is Montrezl Harrell, the 32nd pick by the Houston Rockets, turned himself into one of the best 6-man, super efficient, a monster in the paint despite being only 6'7", putting up over 18 points, 7 rebounds in 28 minutes, plays hard and goes up strong at the rim every time. The 2016 class, Pascal Siakam, the 27th pick. Looking back 4 years later, there's a legit debate between who will end up the best player in this class between Ben Simmons, Brandon Ingram, and Siakam. Spicy P won Most Improved Player in 2019, excellent two-way guy, first-time All-Star, averaging over 23 a game. The 26-year-old should be entering his prime very soon. The 2017 class, still too early to tell. 3 guys I have in mind so far: Jared Allen, Kyle Kuzma, and John Collins. Allen and Collins younger, Kuz struggled this season, so I'm going with John Collins, the 19th pick, a great athlete coming back from his suspension, putting up 21.5 points, 10 rebounds on 58% shooting, also expanded on his 3-point range. Although he might never be elite on the upside's there. Still only 22 years old, he could be the second option under Trae Young to put the Hawks back to relevancy. The 2018 class, still too early to tell. The 2 candidates that sticks out for me: Mitchell Robinson, a steal for the Knicks, drafted 36 overall, phenomenal shot blocker, finishes around the rim with ease. The other, the 17th pick, Dante DiVincenzo, off the bench for the Bucks, averages almost 10 points a game. I'll go with Robinson for now, who has the potential to make multiple defensive teams if he learns to stop fouling, could be a key piece on a good team in the future. The 2019 class, way too early to tell. 3 names comes to mind: Matisse Thybulle, the 20th pick, drafted right after him, Brandon Clark, and the 41st pick, Eric Paschall, all 23 years old. I'm going with Brandon Clark, who knows his role, high energy, flourishes around the rim, number 1 in win shares and box plus minus for rookies. Memphis was supposed to be one of the worst teams, the 8th spot if the playoffs were to happen and the regular season ends as it stands, looking like an awesome piece for a young rising team. Those were all the best non-lottery players from every draft class since 2000. 2017, 18, and 19 isn't definite yet. It's possible there could be somebody on the low that could break out within the next year or 2. Only time will tell. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you. See you next time.